Alright, here is the video review for Power the Prime's Wave 2 Deluxe Blackwing, aka Darkwing. These were just spotted in the US, and much like the first wave, I figured these are going to be a while before they show up locally. Let's not get too excited, don't go crazy on eBay. Although I have looked a couple times on eBay, but I haven't actually picked anything up. And then my friend Michael, MT Blanks on Twitter, found them up at his store. And there's a few of us that all kind of help each other out here in the area. And he found the whole case, and it turns out we ended up, the whole case got cleaned out of this Walmart, and it turns out that the layout was exactly what we wanted. Mike wanted Ripper Snapper, Scott wanted Ripper Snapper, Moon Racer, and the Dinos, and I wanted the Dinos and Blackwing, and it turns out that's exactly the 8 figures that come in the case. You get 2 of each Dino, 2 Ripper Snappers, 1 Moon Racer, and 1 Blackwing. It worked out perfectly. It was great. Everybody walked away happy this afternoon. I think I did run out. I hit all 6 Walmarts. Not all 6. I think not every Walmart in town. I think there's one that I didn't hit, but I hit 6 Walmarts that I'm aware of the locations of, and found nothing. These actually came from a 7th. So, but they showed up locally, and hey, hooray, great, because I'm super stoked. But anyway, here is Blackwing. I'm going to keep calling him Darkwing because that is what I'm used to calling him, but Blackwing is his new official name. He comes with the figure itself, his little prime armor thing, which you can flip around and attach to the back of his jet mode. He comes with his instructions, as well as his bio card. The card I got was Liege Maximo Blackwing, who convinces enemies to lose hope and surrender. And we do, in fact, since we have Liege Maximo, let's go ahead and pop him into the, if we can get him out of his dang sarcophagi here. There we go. Sarcophagi. Anyway, you pop out this little filler piece, fold up Liege Maximo. He does not really, he fits in there. I'm finding with a lot of these Wave 2 stuff, the fitment is off. He's super loose in there. I mean, I could probably, I'm not going to use these things as prime engines for long or often, mostly for the reviews, but it would be nice if they stuck in there, because I noticed that, while the Wave 1 Prime Masters fit in Overlord okay, Alchemist Prime and Alpha Trion the other day didn't, so he falls right out. He's supposed to be able to fit a little snug in there, and I guess maybe we could change his legs up so he snugs in a little. Well, no, even then, he's just super loose, but interesting. But you can attach that, and now he convinces enemies to give up with the power of Liege Maximo. Like you said, the Prime Armor, I'm not going to dwell on the Prime Armor too much. It's a neat little gimmick. I get what they're going for. It becomes the hand just the hand for combined mode. We'll show off his limb modes, but there he is with the card I got. All the figures I got today, I have the Prime Masters that fit their cards, which is cool. Here he is with his buddy Dreadwind, just like they did in G1. They were partners. Look good together. Here he is, speaking of G1, with his G1 self. Sorry. Dropped Liege Maximo there. And you can see they've got the same sweep forward wings. And the Prime Armor kind of equivalates the Power Master gimmick there on the toy. So yeah, nice comparable jet modes. He does have the dual fins back here versus the single one. But he also has another feature that similar from G1, and that's that he can combine with Dreadwind. It's a little awkward. It's a little more awkward than previously, but mostly due to his robot mode head. But you take this. This whole backpack assembly. There's all different segments. They did a whole lot of remolding here on Blackwing. This is a separate piece. The wings pieces are on ball joints to allow them to flip around like that. And then, like I said, this whole assembly is separate. And then there's a separate peg here that flips out. I've already coated it with some floor polish, and I'll explain that momentarily. But bring that down, flip these around, plug this all back into place. Flip this up back, and you just kind of hide his head up here. It doesn't, unfortunately, the way this is shaped to fit over this, it doesn't fold all the way back up into here. It would have been nice if it hid a little better. But you flip the wings over, and you basically have this back half. And then on Dreadwind, go ahead and flip up his fin pieces. Take the wing joint and swap it back and around. Swap it back and around so it meets up. And then use this extra peg to plug the two together, and you've got the Mega Jet mode. Now, the reason I put floor polish on it, and I'll probably put at least one more layer, is because originally you would connect these two and it wouldn't take much effort to shake him right out, as well as the twist is really what, and it seems to actually be working pretty well. So another level, but like you put it in and it wasn't just that it could fall out, it was that it would rotate. So like you plug them together and it would just kind of droop to one side or the other like that, which is ridiculous. And you can see that even with just that single layer of polish, it's holding together much better. So yeah, you get the giant combined Mega Jet here. And that looks pretty cool. Like I said, it's kind of halfway done, and I get it because you know, like they were using combiner mold remolds, so maybe it's not as coherent as had they designed these two from scratch specifically with this in mind. But for a mode that like I'll stick him in and then. Again, this is neat, but he's probably not going to stay in this mode forever. Like, I'm going to pop them apart and display them in robot mode. But all in all, so like I said, I'm willing to forgive it. It's nice that they even bothered to engineer that. So anyway, on to... I'm just kidding. We're not going to skip. We're not going to show this off and not do a comparison with the original G1 body. So there's the original G1 it was Darkwing and Dreadwind. Dreadwind was his combined jet name. So it's not 100% the same. The guns don't peg together and become giant cannons on the jet. He doesn't have the little bit in the nose cone that flips up to form the back of this middle fin here. Or even have a middle fin up there. But, like I said, for something they didn't have to do... It's a nice little homage to the combined Dreadwind. Or Dreadwing. Dreadwing, there we go. Dreadwind and Darkwing form Dreadwing. So yeah. Anyway, on to the transformation the rest of the way to robot mode. Actually, I think we'll show off a couple of limb modes real quick here. So the whole assembly folds in, fold this peg back in. This folds down to allow, well, we'll show that off in a little bit. Flip that around, bring this down and around and up, fold these forward, bring the jet nose. Is it down like this? Down like that? That can't be right. Well, maybe it is. Oh, well, maybe it is. These around, flip them up. There's a way to get these out facing the other way. Maybe, oh, here we go. Bring this down. And then fold this up. And plug the nose cone in like that. On the legs. And then these kind of just rotate up. Something like that. I don't know. If these are supposed to be facing forward, like that on the jet, on the leg mode. I don't care for the limbs. I don't care for Job. And then like on the actual arm mode, go ahead and hold on. Flip this forward and around. Bring his legs down. As if you're turning him into his legs. snap them back together. Use his hips as the combiner joint, and then have this stick out. But here, the wings actually come up and around like this. Actually, want to have this come up. Fix this back to where it was. This comes back. The arms actually come up, so the shoulders are like that. And then it's down like this, and then this tab actually tabs into the arm, like that on the wing. So I guess you could leave these guns on. So bring the shoulder up, and then tab the arm onto the wing there. On that you can kind of sit wherever. I think it looks better pointed up than folded down. And then, of course, take his hand and plug it in. I don't care, like I said, these guys aren't going to be limbs. I might slap them on Starscream. I'm going to be doing a combined mode, fan mode, all hooked together things. So we'll video at some point, so we'll show it off then. Flip that down, and now his head. This tab stays in. Bring this whole assembly forward. Or actually rotate, before you bring that assembly forward, rotate these so the yellow's facing forward and fold them up. And they do actually snap into place like that. Fold this all the way down to the back, and this comes forward. There's a little notch here on the combiner port that this tab has a slot for. Actually, both of those hinges have a slot for. Then turn them around. You can leave the guns attached to the sides of his arms like that. Or you can put them in his fists, which we'll do in just a second. This is the official mode with the wings up like this. You can, if you want, flip them down and fold them down out of the way if you don't like the upside down Decepticon symbols. And he's got the standard articulation. He's got a ball joint up at the head, ball joint shoulders, the hinge inside the torso, bicep swivel, hinge elbows, no wrist, does have a waist swivel, ball joint hips, thigh swivel, hinge knees. Here he is, once again, with his G1 counterpart. And I think it's a nice representation. Got the blues and the teals and the dark grays. Here he is with his Power of the Primes partner. And they look great together. Like I said, they can be limbs. I will probably at some point, if I get... I think I need one more jet. Maybe if I pick up another Blackwing. I don't know. Maybe I'll get another Blackwing and then show them off combined. I don't know. But anyway, there he is together. Again, and just for the sake of it, since we have them all here are both of them together with their G1 toys. So yeah, as you can see, they're really nice updates, despite being just retools of the Combiner Wars jets. They actually did a pretty good job of bringing these two to life in the modern line. They're not perfect. Like I said, Dreadwind I think wins a little overall for me than Blackwing. Blackwing has a few little quirks, but like I said, it's really the combined mode jet that I think fails a little bit here in this. But we got two solid jet modes, two nice looking robot modes together on the shelf, and that's what I want out of these guys. The combined mode jet is a bonus. It is a very nice bonus. When I say nice, I mean that they included it, because I don't know that they had to. It is a little half-baked. It is baked, but it's not all the way there. I feel like if you could have found a way, one, make the connection more secure off the bat. The floor polish method is working. I'm satisfied with that solution. It's easy enough to take care of, but would have been nice if it worked right off the bat. And hiding the head. Had they found a way to hide the head in the combined jet mode a little better, rather than just having his head kind of right up there in the tail, I would be a lot more forgiving of it. As it is, it's a fun little nod, and like I said, I have stuck them together in jet mode a couple times and enjoyed it. But all in all, though, like I said, I still have my G1 versions over here. I don't plan on ever getting rid of those. If you ever see me soliciting, trying to sell them, something bad has happened in my life. Either I am dying or somebody I love is, if you see those up on the sale block. But, yeah, I'm really happy to see these two together again in a modern line. Also, I like the fact that, like, with all the fragile tabs and such on the old Power Masters, now I've got a Dreadwind and a Darkwing, I know Blackwing, that I can carry around and toss in a bag, take to work, play around with, and not worry about, like, significantly damaging. Because anything that could break on these tends to just pop off before it breaks. As well as the fact that, like, if something did happen to them, they're not as hard to replace in as good a condition as my G1 ones are. Anyway, there it is. Transformers Power of the Primes, Wave 2, Deluxe Class, Blackwing.